Hi friends, so we are going to make chicken BOO-dle soup, or if you don't eat chicken, it can be BOO-dle soup. So I have broth. You can use vegetable broth. I'm using chicken broth. You need some noodles. We're gonna dye these black and they're gonna look like bats. I have my chicken. You don't need chicken. You can use tofu or you can just take it out. I'm adding in carrots. We're gonna cut these to look like pumpkins. And then we have celery. We're gonna cut this to look like moons. You can add in potatoes. This is something new I'm trying. And I'm gonna have them look like ghosts. So the first thing you wanna do is get your noodles and fill up a pot full of water on your stove and turn your stove on. You want your water to boil. Once your water starts to boil, you'll add in your noodles and you'll cook for how long it says. It's usually about 10 minutes. And then while that's doing that, you can start to peel and wash your vegetables. So I'm gonna do that. So my vegetables are clean. I'm gonna use my vegetable peeler to peel my carrots and get that skin off. Big carrot, so I wanna make it into smaller pieces so it's easier to make my pumpkins. So what you're going to do is cut your carrot into smaller pieces. I have my carrot chunk here, and we're gonna work on making the stem. So you might need a grown-up to help you. You'll need a sharp knife. I like to claw when I cut, so I make sure I don't accidentally cut any of my fingers. So I claw, and I'm not gonna go all the way through. I'm just gonna go a little bit. I'll show you first. I stopped, and then I'm gonna pull it out. I'm gonna go a little bit right next to it and do the same thing. And then I'm gonna stop. Using my knife for a grown-up, I'm gonna get that little chunk out. I'll use my fingers because that's a little bit safer. There we go. And then I'm gonna do the same thing over on the other side. Go a little bit and stop. Go right next to it. Go a little bit, stop. And then use your finger or your knife to pop it out. And then you have your start of your pumpkin right here. And we're going to put that to the side. You can eat that. Have a healthy snack while you're cooking. And then if you want, you can round out by just cutting out those points. And then it looked a little bit more round, but that's okay. When you cut, you want to cut from the top of your pumpkin, the stem part. If you cut down here, you might break your stem. And again, you're gonna claw and go back and forth like sawing. Don't push because you might break. So back and forth. And then I have a bunch of pumpkins. And keep going for all your other carrots. The noodles are done cooking, so I put it in a bag, and I got my black food dye, and I'm going to put between 10 to 20 drops. But this kind of comes out as a big whoop, so I'm gonna do that. And then pinch it closed, and then you get to have some fun and shape it. Once you have it all, it's not going to cover all your noodles and all little parts. You want to let it sit for about an hour. If you can sit overnight, even better. And then, yeah, shake it. My hands are gonna get black, but if you can see, not all of it is black yet. It needs to sit and absorb into the pasta noodles. If you still notice that you need more, then go ahead and add more black. And I think I'm gonna go on to my celery. So your celery, if you look at it, it's like a half, like a U, or a crescent shape like a moon. So we're going to use these as our moon. So using that claw finger, hold it and and you'll have a bunch of moons. And you can add that to your bowl. You're gonna take your potatoes and make ghosts. So you're gonna chop them. And then you'll cut just a little bit off. And you'll have a little ghost. If you have a cookie cutter or something, you can use it and make a different type of ghost. So go ahead and do that for your potatoes. You're going to add everything to your pot. Your ghosts, your carrots, and your moons. You'll take your broth and add it. Add in your chicken or tofu. Mix. And you'll add your own seasonings. So I'm doing some garlic salt. I like it spicy, so I'll do some cayenne pepper. I'll do regular pepper. Add in your BOO-dle. I didn't cook onions, so I'm going to add some onions in. Not adding the pasta until the very end. So then you're going to turn it on to about medium and just cook it until your potatoes, your carrots, and your celery are tender. So that means that you can stick a fork in them without having to like push really hard. And then I'll show you when we add the bass. get your bowl and add your noodles and your soup together, and you'll have your BOO-dle soup. You might notice your noodle soup is turning black. So spooky.